We come into this life fully aligned with our worthy, authentic, true self. The thing about authenticity is that at the end of the day, all we want is to be loved. All we want, deep down, is to be accepted. But the only way to be accepted is to accept ourselves. There is a way to live simply with authenticity. But first there needs to be a moment when you ask yourself, who am I? Who am I really? If I didn't have success, or money, or love, or family, who would I be? Am I worthy without all of those things? You are worthy just by existing. I feel like a lot of people now make fun of authenticity thanks to the hashtag authentic. But what is authenticity really? What is it? It's being honest. It's not changing who you are, not pretending, not people-pleasing, not biting your tongue in order to make people like you and approve of you. Authenticity is sharing your heart and your thoughts openly and vulnerably. Authenticity is also living a life of courage, having the courage to be okay if not accepted. It's a lot easier just to agree with other people, to bite your tongue and nod your head and do what people tell you to do. But in the long run, that just causes resentment in relationships and friendships when we aren't honest and communicative about how we feel and what we think. True, authentic living is owning your thoughts, sharing your opinions, even if you might be misunderstood. No matter what you do, what you say, what you create, or how you are, you're going to attract criticism. You'll always attract judgments from other people. That is just the inevitable of life. Anyone who does anything gets criticized. So you might as well be loud. You might as well be true to yourself. It's a lot more painful to be who you're not than to be who you are. It hurts. And it's actually a lot more complicated. It's a lot harder to wear a mask and be who you're not than it is just to be yourself. In fact, living true to yourself is a simpler way to live life. You don't have to think about it. You just are. You don't overthink what people said or wonder what people might be thinking about you. You just live. You just are. You just say. Owning your thoughts. Saying to yourself, this is what I'm thinking. This is how I feel. And when having hard conversations with people, starting out the conversation by saying, I'm just going to be honest. That is authentic living. It's owning yourself. Take accountability. When we take responsibility for our lives and our choices, and most importantly, our feelings, we step into true, authentic living. Your happiness is your job. Everyone is off the hook. It is no one else's responsibility to feel good about yourself than yours. Feeling good is your job, no one else's. And also, take responsibility for what's showing up in your life. Are you taking the action? Are you following through with what you said you were going to do? That's integrity. And it's an empowering feeling when you are who you say you are, when you do what you say you're going to do. And lastly, allow others to be wrong about you. Allow others to assume things about you, misunderstand you, misinterpret you, and be okay with that. This is something I'm not really good at and haven't been very good at in the past, but it's something I'm teaching myself. Learning through trial and error. True authenticity is speaking how you would speak and not thinking about how that might be misinterpreted or misconstrued. But leading from your heart, leading from that pure place within you that is honest and true to who you are. That's authentic living. Authentic living is not changing your mind or your beliefs because of someone else. It's standing firm in who you are and what you believe, while still being open-minded to learning new things and learning new approaches to life. But it's staying true to yourself and not wavering, being grounded, being firm and steady in the soil, being rooted and tethered to your own authentic self and your own values. Authentic living is also not taking shit from other people, knowing your worth and what you deserve, and not allowing people to cross boundaries that are not okay with you. You know, a lot of us brush things off and try to move on and try to just get along and nod our head. But that is an energy of fakeness, of trying to mold yourself into someone else's vision or beliefs in order to fit in and be accepted by the other person. But there is an empowered feeling, a feeling of confidence that comes when you trust yourself and listen to yourself. And when you get those gut feelings, those nudges in your body that you can feel that something's off or something's wrong, or maybe you feel uncomfortable by someone, that is a sign to back away and to create some space and distance. One very important main way to really stay tuned in and plugged into your authentic self is to not follow a lot of people on social media, to limit who it is you follow. Something I did recently actually was I unfollowed everyone on Instagram. I did this because I didn't want my mind to be cluttered. I didn't want my mind to be busy thinking about a lot of other people's lives, people I don't know, or people that don't truly light me up. And ever since I did that, my mind has felt a lot more clear, and I feel very grounded, like my channel is clear and pure, and there's no distractions or anything clouding my voice and my thoughts and my aesthetic preferences. I'm just living true to me and not being distracted by everyone else's preferences. And I think it goes without saying that to be more relaxed, to feel this sense of ease and peace in our lives, we need to spend less time on social media. I just watched this documentary called The Social Dilemma on Netflix, and I actually saw it when it first came out years ago, but it sat differently with me this time. Some of the visual components and the metaphors in that documentary really shook me a bit in terms of how much time we spend on social media, kind of brainwashed. I am actively spending less time on social media. We become the energy that we follow. We become the people that we follow. And so it's really important to look at the people in your life that you're following and be very discerning about who gets access to my energy. You are who you hang with, and you become who you follow. And we want to surround ourselves with expanders. We enter this world completely whole, completely pure, loving beings with a mission and a purpose and talents and gifts. And then life happens, and we meet people who tell us that how we are is not okay, or we see bad things happening to other people. And so the fear, the shame, the shoulds, the embarrassment, the guilt, all of those things create our shadow selves. Our shadow is the part within us that wants to settle, to stay small, and wants to hide from being the person that we naturally are deep down. We get programmed into believing certain things as children between the ages of 0 and 14 years old. And so as adults, we have to look back at those years and now reprogram and rewire our brains, create new neural pathways in the brain to believe new beliefs. I'm a big believer that we do not manifest from our thoughts. We manifest from our subconscious beliefs, the things that we really believe deep down. We create our reality based on our subconscious beliefs, the things that we deeply, deeply believe. And we've created these neural pathways in our brain that reinforce those beliefs, that level of self-worth, that level of self-deservingness, and that's how we create our reality. We have to look back at our younger years and reflect on what was said to me during those years that made me settle or stay small or feel a sense of shame or guilt or embarrassment around. And so we don't feel the empowerment or the courage or the excitement to live fully in our authenticity of who we are because we had negative experiences where people told us to dim our light. No one is here to make you happy.